Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 13. We last left our heroes after the Battle of Angel Island. Sonic, seeing that Metal Sonic had no more power and that Eggman was supposedly out of commission, still with his memory block, Sonic decided to let Metal Sonic go, which was the worst possible move because Metal Sonic went straight back to Eggman, fully taking out the Tinker personality. I'm bringing Eggman back to his full Eggman-ness, Eggman took Starline on as an apprentice, Rough and Tumble as his new henchman, and we saw some new plans for what looks like a spider-like contraption. I don't know. Anyway, moving right along into issue 13. Our cover here has the two opposing sides set up like a fighting game. With Sonic and Tails selected and Rough and Tumble selected. Who I'm assuming was going to be the plot of this issue is them fighting. We have our previously a flashback to Rough and Tumble's first appearance. Their little sales won't hold us for long. We'll be out, and then we're coming for you. You made lifelong enemies of Rough and Tumble. And then we cut back to, then we have a flashback to Tinker's first introduction, with Sonic trying to stop Shadow from going after him. But I'm sure it's okay. This isn't Dr. Eggman. Then back to Starline, trying to bring Eggman back. I intend to fix that. I will restore you to your former glory. Dr. Eggman will be reborn. But I'm not him. I don't want to be Eggman. And then Tails and Sonic leaving Angel Island. Are we ready to lift up? All of those words. Are we ready to lift off, Captain? You're right on time. Here we go. On the last shot of last month's or the last issue of the Egg Spider contraption. Oh yes, yes indeed. I've suffered quite the indignity during my last setback. Now the world will be made to suffer in return. And that's takes us back to the present, with Sonic is like chilling out on a beach after the events of the last few issues, talking to a bird who's landed on his shoe. Hey there, taking a rest? That's cool. Pretty much what I'm doing too. It's been wild these past few days. As much as I like adventure, I like kicking back afterwards too. Everyone else, not so much. Amy's gone right back to helping others. She's part of something they're calling the Restoration. Knuckles is back on Angel Island, guarding the Master Emeralds. Silver is out searching for some looming doom threatening the future. And Tails is keeping busy with one of his bajillion projects. So yeah, pretty much everyone's back to what they were doing before all this Metal Sonic stuff happened. Except now Knuckles is on Angel Island again. That's good to know. Anyway, I told them they could relax. Eggman is retired, Metal Sonic is de-weaponized, and everything is cool. When I'm telling people to slow down, you know something is wrong. And then Tails bursts in. Sonic, I think something's wrong. Jinxed it. Take a look at this. You're cordially invited to a welcome back party in Windmill Village to celebrate the return of the world's most brilliant doctor. Where did this come from? It just appeared in my workshop. It's pretty spooky, honestly. The wording doesn't sit well with me either. This sounds really like Eggman. But he's gone. Sort of, right? You and the Chaotix confirmed he'd lost his memory and become a kindly mechanic. Yep, Mr. Tinker. So did he recover? Or did he manage to fool all of us? Maybe there's another angle. And worst of all, will Shadow get to say I told you so? Always keeping your priorities on right, Sonic. This could be serious. Let's look into it right away. You left Mr. Tinker in Windmill Village, right? Right. Come on, buddy, race you there. And they race off to Windmill Village to investigate. Meanwhile, in a secret laboratory, Eggman is doing some more Eggmanning. Getting fresh data sets. Going to conquer the world. Then Starline walks in. Sonic has been baited, as per your instructions, Doctor. Ha! Excellent! Do we have to be so overt? An ambush alone would have been sufficient. You said we should mess with his head. Knowing I'm backing up to something will do just that. I wanted a global proclamation. This is subtle. For me. Good old Eggman. Of course, sir. I didn't mean to second guess you. Is that... Yes. Test 1. Test 1. I don't know what that's about. We see he pours something on like a sunflower, and it turns into a robot sunflower thing? Okay. Marvelous. Total and instantaneous transmutation. Of the active plant tissue, yes, but not the processed wood. Oh yeah, because the flower pot still stays wood in there. I need more data. Bring me the animals. Alright, here it comes. Sonic and Tails come back to Windmill Village. Nothing is on fire in a robot. That's a good sign. In fact, there isn't a sign of anyone, which is, you know, a bad sign. Did Eggman kidnap everyone in town? Without causing property damage? Nah, not his style. Hello? Is someone there? Please help. Sonic hears a voice coming from ahead. Elder Scruffy, are you okay? And he's like tied up to a tree with a sign that says Pinata on his shirt. Thank goodness you boys showed up. Please help us. And Tails goes like undo the rope and let him down. Of course. What happened to you? I'll be fine. It's the rest of the town. First those thugs kidnapped Mr. Tinker. And then they returned and locked everyone in the community center. Yes, it wasn't all a ruse. Was it? Wait, back up. How long ago did Mr. Tinker get grabbed? At least a week. Nobody could find you to tell you. I've been busy lately. That's a reference to the Angel Island battle, as the footnote is very kind to remind us. You said the same guys who attacked the village kidnapped Mr. Tinker? Yes, I've seen them before recently. I'm sure they're lurking around here still. You get a good look at them? Maybe hear their names? Oh, we'll tell you. Oh, here they are. Oh, what? And Sonic sees who they are. Prepare to get wrecked. Prepare to get pummeled. It's payback time for Rough and Tumble. Yep, here they come again. This time they have some kind of, they seem to have either, like robotic tail to help out with their roughing up. Did they just try to rhyme pummel with tumble? It's a thing they do. These are the mooks Nux and I tangled with in Barricade Town. That was back in issue 3, I want to say. We see another footnote there. I don't remember you saying they had those weird weapons. Nah, but it doesn't make a difference. You help the Elder save the villagers. I've got this. Are you sure? Positive. And then Sonic goes up to approach Rough and Tumble, and Rough is like glaring at him. Don't act like we're nothing. You only won because you mobbed us with wisps. Where's the other guy? I want to tie his dreadlocks into a knot. Knuckles has better things to do than tutor you in humility. Now I've got some questions for you. And he like spin dashes at Tumble, but it's blocked by Tumble's like robot tail. Where's Eggman? Was he the one to bust you out of jail? Nah, not that we needed the help. Then who? Yow! And he gets whacked he dodges something, I think? This isn't adding up. You two aren't smart enough combined to build gear like that. And you aren't subtle enough to drop off a cryptic letter. I'll leave this mystery business to the Chaotix. And we see whatever it was they threw at Sonic is like shattered and is like melting the grass, it looks like. Why don't you save me a trip and just tell me what I want to know? If you can beat us, maybe we'll tattle. Don't barter with him. Crush him! And Tumble like slams kicks the ground where Sonic was, but Sonic gets out of the way. Meanwhile, Tails has broken the lock that's like where all the villagers are being kept, and Elder Scruffy opens the door. It's alright, everyone. Sonic and Tails have come to save us. Swing and a miss! And Tails hears the battle going on in the background. And he turns to Scruffy. You're all better off in here until the fight is done. Take cover and keep your heads down. Oh, alright then. Meanwhile, Eggman is continuing research with his new goo. Test 2, commencing with the vertebrate specimens. And a rabbit is like covered in the like robot goo, just like before. Full saturation leads to immediate transmutation. And we see the bunny is now a robot now. Initiating test 3. Pocky, grab the piggy, and the bunny robot like grabs the pig by the ear and drags him into the little cage. Ree! Good, now back off. And we see, even just from like where the bit where he was grabbed by the bunny robot, I think. They're like little bits of spreading on the pig. It worked. The infection transferred immediately. Yeah, okay, so it looks like they're like directly contagious, these robots? That could be really I don't know. How do you, especially given that so much of like combat in this series is like close range, like hand to hand or spin dash to spin dash combat. If you get touched by one of these things, you like are infected. It could be really, really bad for Sonic. Not as bad for Whisper though, who we know fights with Wispons. And given that we're getting a Tangle and Whisper miniseries, by the way, super hyped for that in April, this could be set up for that. I don't know. It worked. The infection transferred immediately. But the rate that it's spreading is considerably slower. Oh-ho! And we see the bunny robot now like scratching against the wall of one of the other cages. The subject shows aggressive tendencies without direction. That's a bonus. Let's keep up the pace. Moving on to test 4. Starline and Eggman both move a box of what looks like inorganic material. Moving samples into position. Now Eggman like looms over the squirrel. Now then, my little woodland varmint, I want you to pick up this flower and... Come get the flower, come on, you can do it. Grab it or let the Pocky get you. Heap! And the squirrel picks up the robot flower. There we go. Now touch the flower to each of those samples. So here's a question. How sentient are these smaller animals that aren't talking? Because, like, we know that most of the citizens are animals. But these guys seem less conscious than, like, Sonic and Tails and all them. Or even, like, the minor characters like Scruffy. So, is it just, like, if they're super small, they're more like normal animals, and then the larger animals are, like, sentient? I don't know. I don't know how it works. Anyway, moving on. So, the squirrel is touching, the flower to all of these inorganic things. And Starline looks through the box. I don't see any signs of infection, sir. And then the squirrel, like, throws the flower away, but we do see it has a couple, like, marks of the infection on its paw. No, but it did pass from flora to fauna. That's test 5 complete. My metal virus is a complete success. Even with the slightest exposure, my synthetic concoction spreads across organic tissue, converting it into my robotic slave. It's an army that builds itself. Inorganic or processed material remains inert, meaning my infrastructure is safe from infection or corruption. I'm a genius! And we see, like, the squirrel, like, put its head to its hands, and now causes the infection to spread to its head. So it does seem... It's been a long time since I picked up, like, any of the Archie series, but it's definitely a distinct reminder of roboticization, of course. Though I don't remember that being spread like a virus, though. Certainly not in this way. Anyway, I'm so happy to have been a part of this. I never dreamed I'd be so honored when I was searching for you. How did you find me? Metal Sonic got half my empire scouring the globe. He sent search parties of badniks. That's a finite number of sensors over a limited range, all of which takes time. I had the warp topaz. The modest charge I could open windows to the world in an instant. I looked farther and further in hours, and the badniks could in a day. So he was just, like, setting up, like, portals everywhere and just, like, looking through the portals. When did you sleep? Sleep is for the weak. I made myself quite ill, but it was worth it to find you. I am so glad you think so. And we see that, Starline has set up a portal to Windmill Town, and he then zooms in on Tails and Sonic's fight with Rough and Tumble. Can you zoom in? I want to see Sonic getting his teeth kicked in. By your command, Doctor. And we see Sonic takes, like, it's one of those poison cartridges. We don't know if it's broken, though. Hits Sonic, like, square in the chest. Ha ha ha! I can't miss! Then he gets hit in the back by Tails. The villagers are safe. How are you doing? I've had chili dogs in my guts harder. Then Tumble comes in with another tail strike, right between Sonic and Tails. Yikes! Okay, so it was a big chili dog. Who asked you to butt in, kid? Why are you even here? Because when the day needs saving, one team never fails. You're about to get busted by Sonic and Tails. And Ruff is so pissed off by that. That's our thing! Stop stealing our thing! Dibs on the runt. I lose my tail, but you get two? Oh yeah, because you do see that Tumble only has, like, a stub of a tail. I don't know how exactly he lost his tail, though. I don't know if we're going to ever find out about that, or if it's just some background trait of his. And Tails, like, looks at him, and Sonic and Tails both, like, dash by him. We see what looks like, Tumble's, like, metal tail is doing some kind of, like, spin thing. Try to catch them, I think. And then I think Sonic is just barely dodging one of those poison containers, I think, right there. I can't quite tell, though, because it kind of looks like Tails threw it, but that makes no sense. Anyway, Sonic looks back up at Tails. Want to split up? You want rough or yes? Okay. And then, so Sonic, focuses on Tumble then. Hey, a tall, dark, and gruesome. Let's play tag. You're it! And, Tumble goes, like, punch, Sonic. Such witty banter. Come on, move those stubby legs. Meanwhile, Tails is barely dodging all, like, the poison capsules. You're not out of the woods yet, Junior. I've got a present for you. Straight from me to you. Nyahaha! And he, like, shoots another poison capsule at Tails. And we see Tails has some kind of, like, what do you call those, like, the things in, like, shooter games where you know where you're aiming. Whatever they're called. I can't think of them. And Tails, like, does some math in his head and catches the poison capsule with his tail and shoots it right back at Ruff, where it shatters all over him. I don't think he's gonna die. Oh, it might not be poison, it might just be, like, skunk sludge. Because we see, fumes of, like, bad smell. No fair! No fair! And Starline and Eggman, like, are watching all this with, like, most of concern on their face. Such a waste of a perfectly good vapor condenser. Shall we move on to test 6? There is no test 6. Surely you jest. Our data sample is minuscule. The metal virus works, Starline. It's time to move to the next phase of my master plan. But what if... who is the evil mastermind here? You are, sir. You're darn skippy. Now keep an eye on the cannon fodder. And we cut back to the Squirtle. We see, like, the infection is now spread all over, all to, like, near its elbow, it's coming up on its face, while I work on the next step. Meanwhile, back in Windmill Village, Sonic is running, like, straight up a building. 1, 2, 1, 2, hustle, buddy. And Tumble, like, just punches the building that Sonic is running on. Do you ever shut up? And Sonic, like, just jumps off the building. Nah, it's part of my charm. And the windmill snaps off, like, the wind part of the windmill, like, just snaps off. Goes falling right next to Tumble, and it breaks off his metal tail. And he looks back in shock. And now, and then Tumble's, like, is holding the ruined tail, like, crying. That's not fair. I had a tail again. The length, the heft, I had it all back. And Tumble's just, like, holding the tail like a dead baby. Okay, man, it's over. Let's go. Heartless. You're just heartless. All I ever wanted to do was cave your head in, and just like that, my sympathy is spent. All good, Tails? Yep, gave him a test of his own medicine and smashed his launcher. And Ruff is still not doing good with the stench. Gah! Blah! Deal's a deal, remember? You're beat, so tell me what you did with Dr. Eggman. Don't you mean Mr. Tinker? Don't get smart with me. You're no good at it. Fine, you want to know so bad? And then a portal opens up right underneath them and they fall straight in. And then it closes. What the heck was that? Some kind of localized wormhole? So, he's back, isn't he? I mean, those guys kidnapped Mr. Tinker, and then they show up with that tech. Yeah, but who sprung them out of jail? Who told them where Mr. Tinker was? We're missing half the pieces of the puzzle. Like, what if somebody else is involved? Maybe somebody is using the old man, making him think he's building, I don't know, toys or something. I feel like my issue with this whole, like, the whole mystery Sonic and Tails is trying to brew here is that we know the answer. We know it's Starline. So it's not really too mysterious. Come on, Sonic. I know. I really hope it's not the obvious. I'll see if Silver found something. You coming? You go. The village sustained some nasty damage. I'll help clean up and come find you. Okay, see you later. And then Sonic runs off as he's thinking to himself. A weird random attack. Tails and I get separated. This is feeling a lot like how things started with Neo Metal Sonic. I'm not going to second guess Tails this time, though. I'm going to get this figured out fast. Tinker, Eggman, whoever you are now. I'm going to find you. Your plan isn't going to get off the ground. Then we cut back to the secret base. You gotta give us another shot, Doc. We came so close. New tail, new tail. Poor Tumble, honestly. Oh ho ho. And Eggman's not particularly pleased with them, but then he turns to Metal Sonic. What's the matter, Metal Sonic? Feeling like you've been overlooked, like you're being overlooked. And Metal Sonic just tosses Ruff and Tumble to the side, and Ruff gets back up. You've had your turn. Metal Sonic grabs Ruff. I can't quite tell what he does with him though. Because then we cut to Eggman and Starline. Ha ha ha! Delightful. If I may be so bold, sir, I share Metal Sonic's enthusiasm. Oh ho! Please let me take the next shot at Sonic. I know exactly how to strike at him. Next time, Sonic versus Dr. Starline. So yeah, that is the end of this issue. This was a long video. But anyway, this was a perfectly good intro to our next arc of the series. We have it feels like they're kind of, as I said near the end there, it feels like they're kind of setting up another mystery on akin to who's running the Empire after Eggman's fallen forces, with the new Metal Sonic mystery back in last year. But the difference is we already know the answer is Dr. Starline, so it just feels kind of odd to stage that like a mystery. Admittedly, next issue, once Sonic and Starline actually confront each other, we'll probably that'll all be gone once that mystery is once Sonic and Starline come face to face. But still, anyway, this was mostly just a fighting chapter. Ruff and Tumble. They appear to be they're going to be fairly recurring villains, I imagine. They're not going to be a one and done kind of guys. They'll be the lackeys for a while, I imagine. But yeah, anyway, we know the details of Eggman's, at least part of the details of Eggman's current plan. I don't know how it's going to all lead up to the spider design we saw at the end of last issue, but we'll see what happens with that when that happens. The next issue, I think, is 2 weeks away. This according to the wiki, but the wiki also said this issue would come out last week. So maybe it'll be pushed back another week again. It'll be the 27th when the next issue comes out. But it shouldn't be much longer after that. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, this chapter is mostly just set up for the new arc. Another encounter with Ruff and Tumble. It does feel weird that they were trying to play Starline as a mystery for a little bit and didn't quite work out, given that we already know the answer to the mystery. But anyway, I did enjoy the issue. Not quite as good as the peaks of the Angel Island arc or the Fate of Dr. Eggman or any of those issues, whatever. But it's still a good start to the next part of the story. So I'm gonna leave this video up here. Hope you all enjoyed the issue and the video. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!